Hi and Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to Volume 4 of Retro Core. Here we are in the new year 2005, and here we go with the first game of the year, Super Aleste for the Super Famicom. Of course, we're bringing you the Japanese version as always, because the American version is completely bastardized with another stupid name, Space Megaforce, and the European version has got a few levels missing. Mind you, so is the US version. So the Japanese version is the one to go for. Super Aleste by Toho and Compile. Unfortunately, Compile have now disappeared, which is a shame. You may know Compile from such games as Genshin Aleste on the Mega CD. Also very famous for the #1 puzzle game, Puyo Puyo. But not many people recognise them for their classic shooters. And this one of their classic shooters is the best one they ever made. In my book, anyway. Okay, so at the moment we've got the laser weapon. And one thing which this game does feature is different modes for each weapon. So at the moment, I'll just power it up, so we've got 3 sets now. At the moment, I'm just doing straight blasts with one flick of the button, and there you go. One turns into a homing missile, or homing laser, I should say, which makes the game quite easy to play. One of the best things about Super Aleste is the massive explosions which the game has. There we go, something's a blow up. It's the big boss guy. Welcome to hell. Actually, there is one improvement over the Japanese version that the European and the US version have, and that's much more clearer speech. The Japanese version has really muffled speech. Here we go, I've got my standard Vulcan weapon here, and at the moment it looks like a spider on heat going mad. You just change into a star formation. There's some sort of a cross formation there, and then another backwards firing crap, and back to another different formation, and your standard two-way blaster, and your maniac style. So as you can see, there are quite a variety of modes for your weapons to be in. Just too bad that guy wasn't around long enough to see them all. Now this is a complete and utter shite weapon. Basically, whichever way you've put yourself, that's the way the weapon flies. I see that little diddy space station in the background spinning around. We'll be coming straight up to that in a minute. Thanks to the wonders of the Super Famicom's Mode 7. Oh, that was on my laser. And this is quite a nice weapon. Power it up and let rip. Nice. There are actually a total of 8 different weapons you can get in the game, ranging from completely crap to pretty useful. This is one of my favourites. This is the sprite weapon, or better known as option. So as you can see, they're all stuck in one formation at the moment. With the click of a button, they follow me around. Click of another button, and lock them again. This weapon's actually quite useful for some weapons, for some levels I should say. Not exactly the best weapon in the game, best weapon in the game being the laser of course. But actually I prefer this one than most of the other weapons. As you can see, this weapon sort of rebounds bullets off anything you shoot. This is sort of more of a bonus level than an actual area to say. Basically everything you blow up gives you a power up, which is very useful if you're running a bit low. It's also got one of the songs, the background music, which is missing out of the Western versions. Just a rip with a bit of an explosion there, nice big meaty bomb, and another one, go on, take that. One thing you might actually have noticed is this game just does not slow down. Everything moves, yet nothing slows down, which is amazing for the Super Famicom game. When you consider Konami's games such as Axley, the Proteus series, Gradius, oh fucking hell, Gradius, that slows down like a light bitch. I think Compile have done a very, very good job in making this one game. Absolutely no slowdown whatsoever, and everything moves. Even if we just pause it here, see, even you can see the bullets even flash. Everything moves in this game. Here we come to one of my favourite bosses. Hey, look sharp. Can't help but feel, oh shit, that they ripped it off Thunder Force 4. On the levels on Thunder Force 4 there. And I've just completely lost all my power there because I've been hit. So I'm in shit street now. A couple of bombs or so out. He didn't last long, did he? It's another one of my favourite bosses, a bit of a spider type boss. He throws like 500 tons of rock at you. You've got to try and kill him while avoiding his arms and whatever. Yep, I think I'm in trouble here. If there was one thing I'd have to say about Super Aleste, which was going to be a bad point, would be the fact that if you do actually get the laser weapon, which I've got now, it is actually quite easy to get through the game. But the problem being is if you lose your weapon, especially if you're stuck with a shite weapon, getting it powered up again can be quite an uphill struggle, especially on some of the more difficult levels. Luckily for the Western version, or for Western players I should say, a couple of the levels have been toned down, but this Japanese version has some rock hard level settings, such as Maniac and whatever, which could certainly test your playability skills. So graphically, as you can see, Super Aleste is a very, very nice game. The music on it as well is also very nice. Some of my favourite music on the Super Famicom, to be honest. This level doesn't have to your eyes in though. As you can see, Compile is certainly not shy to exploit the Super Famicom's graphical capabilities. Lots of scaling and stretching and distortion of sprites. So basically in this boss he spins around, comes up, points another, I don't know, pod at you, and out the pod comes a different type of weapon. Hey, what's this? Oh, it's the obligatory big ship level that most shooters had in the late 90s. To mention in the late 80s as well. Whoop. So there you have it, that's Super Aleste for the Super Famicom. Absolutely wonderful shooter. Really long levels, lots of levels as well. I think it's around about 10 levels to be honest, can't quite remember now. This is level 8 anyway. Oh shit, look at the weapon I've got now. Oops. It's going to be an uphill struggle now. Anyway, back to the score, yeah. So yeah, Super Aleste, Super Famicom, a superb game, worthy of anyone's purchase. But whatever you do, make sure you get the Japanese version. Or push the American version, and whatever you do, don't run the game on a PAL machine. Because the PAL version of this game is so slow. Not to mention it's got the big whopping borders. So we're going to give Super Aleste from Compile the retro core score of 9 out of 10, probably the highest scoring game we've ever had on the show so far. Absolutely awesome shooter, well worth buying. Get it now. Power Drift for the PC Engine. Personal favourite classic Sega arcade of mine. This conversion by Asmic. But how does the big meaty beefy arcade stand up on the little tiny incy wincy 8-bit PC Engine? Well, as you can see graphically, it's not bad, I guess. It is running on an 8-bit machine. How does it play? Well, let's start it up and find out. Okay, first thing you'll notice, which is different, is the actual character select screen. So let's go, where's my favourite gun? Oh, he's down there at the bottom, isn't he? Here we go. Okay, we got the arcade speech in there. Whoop! Oh, fucking hell. And yep, as I've just figured out very quickly into the game, controls are absolutely lost. To be fair, the original arcade version of Power Drift was a bit tricky to control, but this PC Engine version is very tricky to control. Almost uncontrollable, in fact. The PC Engine version does feature all the arcade tracks and does have fairly decent renditions of the music, I guess. I suppose it does do a fairly decent attempt at recreating the arcade touch. Fortunately, the controls are pretty bad on it. The main problem with the control is that it's quite unresponsive, meaning that you can actually turn, pressing the button to turn, and it just won't turn. Other problems which the game does have is the fact, as you just saw then, is the fact that you can't actually see down the road half the time due to the viewpoint given. As you can see there, very difficult to see where I'm going. So there you have it, that's Power Drift for the PC Engine. Unfortunately, not the best version out there. Best version still belongs on the Sega Dreamcast, closely followed with the Sega Saturn version. So unfortunately for the poor PC Engine, I'm going to have to give Power Drift a terrible score of 3 out of 10. Majorly let down by the fact that the controls are complete and utter shite. Thank you very much, Asmic.
Slug.
Yeah, I know. The intro said it was going to be Top Hunter. Unfortunately, after making the Top Hunter intro, I found out that I haven't got my Top Hunter card. Really typical, isn't it? So I said we're going to bring you Metal Slug, which I'm sure you all want to see anyway.
Mission 1, start.
So this is the game that started off the craze, the very first Metal Slug, and what an excellent game it is. For its time, the animation was unbelievable. In fact, it's still very good even to this day. The amount of detail in the game is very, very nice. Not only is the animation very good, the sound effects are great, some great humour in there, and even a few little special effects, as you can see down here. Got the reflection in the water. Very nice indeed. Basically, the idea of the game is just get through it, blow the crap out of everything in sight, and rescue the little Robinson Crusoe type guys. And try not to get yourself blown up in the process. Oh, shut up, you. One very nice thing about Metal Slug, all the little touches. So I see, just spotted them with a big rock there, and the bloody guts come flying out. Yeah, thought you'd get me with that, did ya? One cool feature is that you can actually get into a vehicle such as this one. One of my favourite things about Metal Slug is the fact that you can actually use the backgrounds to aid you in your quest. Come on, give me some bonus, you kid. Nice. Here we go, big boss time. Oh, got away from that. So it's actually quite hard to fault Metal Slug, to be honest. Of course they've improved on it in each and every sequel, but for the very first Metal Slug, there's not much you can complain about. Okay, there's a little bit of slowdown in there every now and then when things get a bit busy, but overall the game's just beautiful. So much attention to details, you know. Oh, a little bit of squirt blood there. Oh, hang on, better press start. I would say if I did have to complain about something, I don't know what it'd be actually. It could be that sometimes there's far too much going on, you sort of lose track of what you're meant to be doing. But I wouldn't really say that's a fault of the game, to be honest. Just a fault of my lack of concentration. I'm rather looking at the pretty graphics. Oh shit.
Rocket launcher.
Sort him out there. For those who don't own a Neo Geo, you may be interested in knowing that you can actually get Metal Slug for the Sega Saturn using the RAM card. And it is actually quite a good conversion. It does suffer from quite a bit of slowdown, like the Neo Geo does, but overall it's quite a good conversion, and for half the price of the Neo Geo original, or less than half the price, you can't complain really. So there you have it, one of the greatest games for the Neo Geo, when every other game on the machine's a bloody beat 'em up. It's always nice to welcome something such as a Metal Slug. A great addition to any Neo Geo owner's collection, definitely. So RetroCore are very honoured to give Metal Slug on the Neo Geo a beautiful score of 10 out of 10. Can't get any better. Sega Touring Cars for the Sega Saturn, featuring arcade side and Saturn side. Let's boot it up. Okay, originally when you start the game you don't have this many options, just I'm so good at the game and managed to get them all up. But then again I've got a big head. Anyway, we've got Championship mode, which is the same as the arcade mode, Exhibition Race, Special Track, Time Attack, speaks for itself, Versus Race, 2-player action, car setup, customize your cars, records and options. One thing you'll notice in the options is it's set to bloody easy. I wonder why that is. Amount of laps you can have, boosts, damage on or off, and one of my favourites is the CPU car, which you can actually train to be a complete and utter bastard. But we'll keep it on normal. One thing which must be said about touring cars is the music. A lot of the music is done by Sega's in-house. There's actually a special track by Richard Jackals of Sega Europe, which has done a Sega Touring Cars remix of Condition Reflex, which is actually from which is called Sega Rally. As you can see, absolutely no resemblance to Sega Rally so far, but I can assure you that later on the song it does sound a bit like Sega Rally. But I normally stick with the music from Avex Trax, which is the Japanese record label. So let's kick up the game and see what it's like. So first, presentation wise, the game looks pretty much like the arcade. Got your car select screen here. So you got your Mercedes, your Alfa Romeo and your Toyota Supra. But I'm going to go with the good old Opel here, tuned version. I think we'll go for automatic as well, make it a bit easier. So the game starts off with you having to qualify for your course. So you have to do a qualifying lap, and of course it's bloody impossible to get the top score on it. So it's gonna be bullshit there. One thing that many people complained about in touring cars was the actual handling of the car. Now, I don't know what those people are talking about. Obviously, they completely the shit of the game, because the car controls very, very well. As you can see, I'm not having any problems controlling it. Whoops, bit on the grass there. Spoke too soon. Ah, shit. Oh well. Look at that, I made myself look like a complete ass there, didn't I? Anyway, a lot of people complained that the controls got a load of shit. But actually, I think those people who did complain didn't actually sit down long enough to actually learn the controls. I think they were just expecting another Sega Rally or Daytona, you know, get in there, pick up the game and off you go. When in fact Touring Cars isn't like that. You actually got to learn how to play the game. One of the major down points about Sega Touring Cars is the actual graphics. While they're very solid looking, and they are pretty close to the arcade, more than what Daytona was, the actual texture mapping on them is so low. You know, a lot of the textures do look as blocky as hell. The actual models themselves are quite nice, but the textures just make them look really ugly. Another downer is the frame rate. It's actually lower than the original Daytona was. I think we're talking about 20 frames per second, and even then, sometimes it drops. You know, slow down in a racing game is not really acceptable. Luckily for touring cars, it sort of makes up with it with the adrenaline pumping playability. Which, believe me, once you learn the controls, it does come. One of the things about touring cars is that it actually features a rear view mirror, which is quite unusual for a Sega racing game. Or quite unusual for the Saturn racing game, I should say. Another thing about touring cars is Sega didn't seem to give a shit about the music. In this next song, you got some guy saying you're fucking awake down there. No warning on the box. That's why we love Sega, isn't it? Just have a listen. That's right, you're fucking awake down there, everyone. I was actually quite surprised to find out that this conversion is actually done by CRI and not actually by Sega at all. CRI, as you might know, are responsible for the absolutely bollocks Afterburner 3 on the Mega CD, the pretty substandard Galaxy Force 2 on the Mega Drive, and a shitload of other crap ports. But they are actually the makers of the aero dancing games on the Dreamcast, which are actually quite nice. Unlike my playability skills at the moment, I'm going right off here. Brick Wall Town, or Shit Bricks Town it should be called. Absolutely impossible to get around this course without hitting the wall. I guess that's why it's called Brick Wall Town. This is probably one of the worst courses on the game as well for slowdown. Bloody hell, that's hard. So anyway, there you have it. Sega Touring Cars is the main game. Let's take a look at some of the extra options. So this is the exhibition race in Saturn mode. You got your standard cars as before. But once you complete the normal game, you can actually get the Sega Proto, which is this one here. Oops, should get the tuned version. And this car is actually quite fast, and you actually get a new track to race it on as well. Boomtown Circuit. As you see, very fast car. And actually this car looks better than the actual main cars in the game, probably because it was designed specifically for the Sega Saturn version of Touring Cars. So anyway, there you have it. It's basically it really for the Sega Saturn modes. Let's take a look at the arcade mode. So the arcade mode has a championship mode, expert mode, which is pretty much the same as a championship mode but about 5 times harder. Grand Prix mode, which is or Grand Prix mode I should say, is quite nice. Lets you play for quite a long time as well. So in the Grand Prix mode you have to choose which circuit you'd like to race on. You've got your standard 3 at first, your country circuit, and so on. And then you have the extra round, which is actually the special stage, which I won't be actually able to show you because, to be honest, I can't be asked playing it. I've got too many things to do, you see. So anyway, you select your course and you just race on it. I think I'll do something like 40 or 50 laps. There you go, 20 laps. I was miles out, wasn't I? The thing is though, the time limit is so tight on it that it's actually pretty much impossible to do when you first try it. Only after playing it for quite some time you actually get the feel of the car and master all the corners, unlike me here. Oh, far too wide. So there you have it. That's Sega Touring Cars for the Sega Saturn. Not the best Sega Saturn racer out there, but there was certainly a lot worse, and quite a nice attempt at porting the arcade to the Saturn. Can't help but feel if Sega did the port it would have been a lot better though. But I suppose we've got to be thankful for what we got. So by all means, don't buy this game if you've got to fork out a lot of money, but if you can find it cheap, buy it. So we're going to give Sega Touring Cars a retro course score of 7 out of 10. Would have got more if the graphics were a bit better and it didn't have that little bit of slowdown. But overall, it's an entertaining enough game, which I think most Saturn fans out there will be quite happy to play. Well, this is the very first Game Boy game featured here on Retro Core, and it's actually one of my favourites from days gone by. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Follow the Foot Clan. Of course, these days it looks incredibly jerky, but back in its time it wasn't. 'So the idea of the game is get back April, the news reporter, instead of being kidnapped by the Foot Clan, or Shred I should say. And it's up to our heroes, the Turtles, to get her back. At its time, which was 1990 I believe, it's 14 years ago now, this was actually quite a nice game on the Game Boy. And you can see we've got a bit of parallax scrolling down there at the bottom. Ooh. It's extremely action-packed, there's lots to see and do, and it's actually quite a difficult game as well. It's definitely not a Game Boy game you'll be finishing within a couple hours of purchase. Audio is also quite nice for the Game Boy. And it's nice to see a Game Boy game where you can actually make out the characters instead of trying to guess what they actually are. Characters are nice and beefy on this game. Easy to make out what's what. Throughout the game you can find secret little bonus games, such as this one. The idea of this one is to make sure you get the last shuriken, or whatever they're bloody called. That mother brain, or whatever the fuck the idiot's called, getting them all. And I lost. Oh well, nothing new there. Well, Raphael's been captured. So between different levels you can actually choose different turtles which you want to go. So we'll go Michelangelo, the nunchuck wheeling turtle. As you can see, the levels are quite varied, going through different parts of the game. So we've been on the sewers, the streets, and now we're on the back of a load of trucks after kicking the shit out of Bebop. You can probably pick this game up for absolutely nothing these days, probably a couple of pound or whatever. And it's definitely a recommendation to anyone who's got a Game Boy and they're after a bit of a challenging platformer. So we're going to give Turtles Follow the Foot Clan on the Game Boy actually pretty decent score of 7 out of 10. Not perfect, it does have a few issues, like sometimes foot soldiers can just sort of drop out of the sky and land on you. There's absolutely no way of avoiding the little solids. Also, there's a bit of a lack of variety in the actual characters, but we'll put that down to Game Boy memory restrictions. But overall, pretty good game there. I think if you've got a Game Boy, you should seriously think about getting.
Final Fight Special.
Here we go with the Final Fight Special. Kicking it off is the Super Famicom version or SNES version, which only has 2 characters. So let's pick Cody. Okay, this is probably the version of Final Fight which most of you out there know about. Considered by most to be the best one. Of course, all those elite Star Souls probably think it's the best as well. Mainly because those type of people never have a clue what they're talking about anyway. Well, let's see, how can we say about the Super Famicom version? Well, we've got a bit of audio fault there. But overall, it looks pretty. Sounds better than the arcade version. And the arcade's got bloody awful audio. Colours are nice. Controls well. But it does have this pretty nasty bug in it, which I think all versions of Final Fight do have. Just watch this. See, just keep punching them. One of the major downers about the Super Famicom version is that it's actually missing half the levels of the arcade version. The factory level's gone, the bridge level's missing. Also, you can only choose 2 characters, and it's only a 1-player game as well, which are all major downers. A point must be made out that Capcom did actually release a second version of Final Fight for the Super Famicom, which featured Cody and Guy. Oh no, actually no, it featured Guy and Hagar, I should say, or Haggett, whatever you want to call them. So unfortunately the Super Famicom version is extremely scaled down compared to the arcade version. So let's go and take a look at the Sharp X68000 version. Okay, Sharp X68000 version, all characters available. So let's go, Guy. One thing you'll notice straight away over this and the Super Famicom version is that it's a lot faster. Actually says to be the arcade. And you notice the phone booth wasn't there in the Super Famicom version. Also, the colours in the Sharp X68000 version are a lot more closer to the original arcades. Audio-wise, the game doesn't sound as good as the Super Famicom. It sounds pretty much like the arcade version, which sounded like shit, really. But overall, it looks a hell of a lot better. Character's a bit smaller though. The Sharp X68000 version also features all the levels from the original arcade as well, which is something that the Super Famicom doesn't. And you'll also notice in the top corner you got the push start button, which just tells you that it's a 2-player version as well, just like the original arcade. there's something which isn't in the Super Famicom version. These and their nice breast shower, which I'm sure a lot of you guys would love to be in the Super Famicom one. Okay, so there you have it, that's the Sharp X68000 version. Let's check out the Mega CD version. Here we go, Mega CD version then. Again, all 3 characters. We'll go Guy again, that's my favourite. One thing you'll notice straight away is the audio on the Mega CD version is a million times better than all the other versions. Another thing you may notice is the actual amount of colours used in the Mega CD version. It does actually look quite bad compared to the Super Famicom and the Sharp X68000 versions. Mainly due to the Mega Drive's colour palette. But the game still runs at a good speed, just like the Sharp X68000 version. All the speech is in there as well. Mega CD owners will be happy to know that all levels are featured from the arcade version, just like the Sharp. And also the Mega CD version features more characters on screen than any other version. Another nice bonus is the Mega CD version actually has an extended introduction, which features a full-on speech and extras. Get your boobs out for the lads. An interesting thing is that the Super Famicom and the Sharp X68000 versions of Final Fight were all programmed by Capcom themselves, whereas this Mega CD version was actually reprogrammed by Sega. It's like Capcom weren't up for the job. Then again, most Capcom games on the Mega Drive were reprogrammed by Sega, such as Strider, Ghouls and Ghosts, and so on. Yeah. It's a nice little trick there. Actually, I think all versions of Final Fight suffer from that. But it does come in handy for some of the later levels. So there we have it. 3 hot versions of Final Fight. Each fanboy for each machine considers his version the best. But which version truly is the best? Well, let me see. Well, the Super Famicom's got loads of levels missing. It's only got 2 players available. It's only a 1-player game. It does have better music than the arcade machine. It is a bit slow though. Graphic-wise, it does look nice. So then we got the Sharp X68000 version, which basically is the arcade machine. Not much difference there really. So basically you can't fault it really. And then you got the Mega CD version. While it moves nice and fast, yeah, it does have more characters on screen than any other version. It's got better music than all versions put together, mainly due to the fact that it's from CD. It's got all the levels in there. It's got an extended special intro, but the one thing that the Mega CD version is lacking in, and that's colour. So, which one would you reckon is the best? Well, I'm going to have to say that the worst one is the Super Famicom version. Pretty much a piss poor effort there. But then again, it was one of the first games for the machine. The Sharp X68000 is the arcade, so nothing special. So I'm going to actually say the best version of Final Fight has got to be the Mega CD. Everything the arcade's got, except the colour, plus the extra bonus of a CD soundtrack and a nice new intro. So should we save Guy? Ah, fuck him. Let him die. So here we have it, the ultimate RPG for the Sega Master System, Phantasy Star, the game that started the whole Phantasy Star series. Now you're probably wondering why the hell am I playing the Japanese version? Well, the reason is because the Japanese one sounds a hell of a lot better than the English one. Okay, you can hear the Japanese sound now. Just wait till you hear the English one. Oh god, my ears. Yep, that's the sound from the English Master System version. So now you can understand why I play the Japanese one. Anyway, back to the game. One thing the Phantasy Star did feature was these amazingly smooth 3D dungeons. Just a second, let's put it back to the Japanese version. That's better. So anyway, as I was saying, the Master System version of Phantasy Star featured these really nice 3D dungeons, which were actually going to feature in Phantasy Star 4 on Mega Drive, but they took them out due to memory restrictions of the cartridge. The story in Phantasy Star is actually quite good for its time. It's a bit basic compared to today's standards, but back then it was actually something quite nice. For an 8-bit machine, it's graphically decent, nothing too special about it, but it looks the part. Just like any other RPG at the time, you have to go shopping to buy stuff to aid you in your quest. You got your stats and so on. Now, is it just me, or did these guys look something like, oops, wrong button there. Did these guys look like the Stormtroopers or something from Star Wars? Pretty dodgy if you ask me. So once you exit the village which you're in, you go to the main map, and of course down the main map you get to fight some baddies. And since I'm making the video, no baddies are deciding to come. Yeah, bloody typical. Here's one. It's your typical turn-based affair. Oh, 6 gold pieces, not bad. So there you have it, Phantasy Star for the Master System. Quite a nice RPG actually for the machine. Definitely worth getting if you own a Master System, if you're into a bit of a nostalgic RPGing. But compared to today's standards, like I said, it's not up to much. But for this time, it was good. So we're going to give it a retro core score of 9 out of 10. Actually, very good RPG. Here we are outside the Famicom shop. It's a used game shop in Tobata in Kokura in Japan. And today we're going to have a video interview with the owner of the shop. As you can see, it does look quite old from the outside, but inside it's full of goodies. So first, let's go and have a look around the shop. So as you can see over here, we have a cupboard of hardware. Quite a lot of goodies in there. And down here we got some loose Famicom cartridges. And you can't have a Famicom shop without Super Famicom games. And Nintendo 64 as well. As you can see in the glass cabinet, it's full of Game Boy releases. No cases, of course. Well, they got cases. And of course we've got Sega Saturn. Some pretty good titles there. Hundreds of them as well. Door Dreamcast. And GameCube. Some classic arcades cabinets there with Neo Geo on, with some kids' homework on it. And the PlayStation 2 releases. And over here we got all the players' guides. So let's go and have an interview with the owner. This is Hideo. He is the owner of this Famicom shop, and he's been very kind, and he's going to do an interview with us for Retro Corp. So let's ask him a few questions. What type of games do Japanese people like?
競馬のシミュレーションゲーム。
Ah, horse racing simulation. I see. And RetroCore is a retro-based game show. Can you tell me what was the first hardware you ever got?
ファミコンと PC ですね。
Famicom and PC Engine, Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay. What's your favorite game on the PlayStation?
ダービースタリオン98。
Derby Stallion 98. Horse racing game.
Yes.
Okay. What's the average age of a Japanese gamer?
多分25歳ぐらい。
About 25 years old. Oh, older than England. Many people think that retro games are more fun than modern games. What do you think?
日本ではだいたいオタクたちぐらいですね。
In Japan, only mostly maniacs are into retro game, and your average gamer likes his new games. Okay. Do you have a special message for the Western gamer?
もっと日本の RPG ゲームをやってもらいたいと思いましたね。
He'd like you to play Japanese role-play games, since they are the best ones, and it's pretty difficult to play them in Japanese. But he'd like you all to try and play Japanese RPGs. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Hiya, come on through. This bloody room's a shithole. Why don't you get off your ass and clean it up? Oh, I need some more food. Go to the mother and ask to get me some more food. I still want some more food? Tell it to fuck off. Hey mate, here's your food. Got me 300 gold, please. 300 gold? Oh, thank you. You're so light. Hey, fancy coming around to my place for the bit of footsie? I'll let you go first. Serves you right, you stupid old fart.
Oh man, look what you done.
Nom nom. I love this chicken.
Oh, Father, get up, you useless fuck.
I didn't do anything. All I did was hit him. Not my problem, he's a fag.
And if you haven't guessed by now, this is Rent-a-Hero for the Sega Dreamcast. Sega's comical and very good RPG. Well, action RPG I should say. Made using the exact same engine, or if not the exact same, a very similar engine to that used in the Sega arcade game Spike Out. You may have heard of Rent-a-Hero before it came to the Dreamcast. There was actually a Mega Drive game. This Dreamcast conversion is actually a conversion of the Mega Drive version, and it's pretty much identical in every way to the Mega Drive version, except for obviously the graphical update. So what you actually do in Rent-a-Hero, apart from wandering around aimlessly trying to find stuff? Well, the main point of the game is you actually rent yourself out as some sort of part-time superhero who is Rent-a-Hero. Oops, just found a mini VMU game there, don't want that. And it's your job to go and sort of be I don't know, best described as a vigilante, I guess. We got the dirty old geezer from before, who actually works for the undercover agency Sega. And what he does now is he gives you a brand new console, which is actually 128-bit Mega Drive or something. There you go, we've got our new console there. We can get a close-up of it. Unfortunately there's no camera button, so I can't really get a good close-up. But let's go and plug it in and see what happens. Dreamcast. So via this artificial console built into the game, you can receive emails from various people throughout the game, and through these emails you can find yourself jobs or whatever. They also give you like little information and tips on how to do special moves and so on. There's all sorts of stuff in there. You can also save and load from here. This is the job page. Find yourself a job. So let's go outside. The actual playing area of this game is very large indeed, and there are quite a number of different places you can actually go. You have to get the subway there. Now I was actually going to show you near the end of the game, when your character is all powered up. Unfortunately I've lost my bloody save file. I haven't got a clue where it's gone. So to become our hero, which is a Rent-a-Hero, just quick press of the button here. And he'll do his little move there. Every time he changes, he does a little maneuver. So let's go and see where the problem is. There's a special guest who you might know. Now, who's that? It can't be Sega Saturn Hero, can it? It could well be him. Actually, later on in the game, you have to kick the crap out of him. Or more like he kicks the crap out of you. Oh, nice bit of advertising there for Sanyo. Looks like trouble ahead. Let's go and see what's going to happen. Oh well, that showed me, didn't it? Let's kick his ass. He's always saying that he can be a superhero too. She's probably just saying, you can't be a superhero, you're just a prick. One of the nice things about Rent-a-Hero is the more you play it, the more you can actually update your character. And the more powerful it gets, the more special moves he gains, such as electric lightning bolts and so on. Unfortunately, you won't get to see them today, due to you have to play the game for quite some time to actually get all the saves and all the powers. Oh, it looks like this punk means business. Time to kick his ass. So you can see at the top we've got a charge meter there. Unfortunately, I can't use it at the moment. Being at the beginning of the game, I don't have no special powers or anything like that, so it makes the game quite dull at first. But like I said, the more you play it, the more bonuses you get, and the better your suit becomes. Overall, Rent-a-Hero is actually a very, very funny action RPG. sure you'll all love. The only problem is it's all in Japanese, but there is actually a good player's guide for it over on GameFAQs. It's well, they got a complete another NAF forum. You do actually have some pretty good facts over there, so I suggest you pick yourself up a copy of Rent-a-Hero and check out the facts. GameFAQs.com. Get yourself a bit of Rent-a-Hero goodness. I do believe that the game was meant to be coming out on the Xbox in English in the States, but that seems to have disappeared now. So it looks like the only 3D version of it, or update version, is this Dreamcast version. Looks like he's taking a dump there. So, what sort of score are we going to give Rent-a-Hero? Well, we're actually going to give it quite a good score. I think we should give it a good score around about 8 out of 10. It seems to be the average score in this month's show. It's not a game you're going to finish overnight. It does last you a long time, and there's an awful lot to it. And Rent-a-Hero runs like he's crapped his pants, and that's always good for entertainment value.